Meet Thomas Cochrane, the audacious captain whose daring exploits would inspire generations of naval officers and even legendary authors. He made real-life naval warfare look wilder than fiction, with battles so intense and unpredictable that they seemed torn from the pages of an adventure novel. Born into Scottish nobility but short on wealth, Cochrane joined the Royal Navy young, determined to make his mark and rise above his circumstances. He was a rebel, brilliant, inventive, and always ready to outsmart the enemy, never content to simply follow orders or tradition. Cochrane saw the sea as a chessboard, using cunning, surprise, and unorthodox tactics as his main weapons, always thinking several moves ahead. Commanding the tiny HMS Speedy, he terrorized French and Spanish ships in the Mediterranean, turning his small crew into a force to be reckoned with. In a legendary move, he disguised his ship as Danish, got close to the massive Spanish Gamo, and captured it against all odds, a feat that stunned Europe. Cochrane was a master of deception and psychological warfare, breaking enemy morale with clever ruses, daring raids, and unexpected strategies. His crew adored him for his bold leadership, his willingness to share risks, and the prize money he brought home after every victory. Admiralty officials admired his results but feared his unpredictable methods, unsure whether to celebrate or restrain him. Cochrane's rebellious spirit made him both a hero and a headache for his superiors, challenging authority at every turn. He didn't just win battles, he changed the rules of naval warfare, leaving a legacy of innovation and audacity. For Thomas Cochrane, the adventure was only beginning, and his legend would echo far beyond the horizon. Cochrane's defining moment came at the Battle of Basque Roads in 1809, a clash that would test the limits of naval warfare and the courage of those who fought it. The French fleet was anchored behind heavy defenses, protected by a maze of wooden barriers and shallow waters. The British command, wary of disaster, was paralyzed by caution and indecision. Enter Cochrane with a plan as wild as it was brilliant. He proposed attacking with fire ships packed with explosives, a tactic as dangerous for the attacker as for the enemy. He personally led the charge, lighting fuses and sending floating bombs into the heart of the French fleet, risking his life at the forefront of the assault. The result was chaos. Explosions shattered defenses, flames lit up the night, and French ships ran aground in panic, their crews scrambling for safety. By dawn, the French fleet was crippled and vulnerable, their once mighty ships now stranded and burning in the misty morning light. But British Admiral Gambier hesitated, refusing to finish the job, his caution costing the British a total victory. Furious at the missed opportunity, Cochrane attacked with his own frigate, forcing action and showing the boldness his superiors lacked. The victory was incomplete, but Cochrane's genius and audacity were undeniable, earning him both admiration and notoriety. He'd proven that unconventional tactics could shatter even the strongest enemy, changing the way naval battles would be fought for years to come. Yet his refusal to play by the rules made him enemies at home, as many in the Admiralty saw him as a dangerous maverick. Cochrane's reputation as a maverick was sealed, his name whispered with both respect and suspicion. He was both celebrated and feared, a legend forged in fire, whose legacy would echo through naval history. Cochrane's boldness made him powerful enemies in Britain. After Basque Roads, his criticism of superiors and anti-corruption stance in Parliament put a target on his back. In 1814 he was accused of stock fraud. Many believed he was framed. Despite flimsy evidence, he was convicted, fined, imprisoned, and stripped of his knighthood. Publicly shamed, Cochrane lost everything he'd fought for in Britain, but he refused to be broken. If Britain didn't want him, he'd fight for freedom elsewhere. South America's independence movements needed a daring leader. Cochrane's next chapter would be written on a new continent. His spirit and genius were far from finished. The Sea Wolf was about to become a liberator. Cochrane arrived in South America as a force of nature, bringing with him a reputation for daring and innovation that preceded him across the Atlantic. His presence electrified the region, inspiring hope among revolutionaries, and striking fear into the hearts of his enemies. In 1818 he took command of Chile's fledgling navy, facing the daunting might of Spanish power in the Pacific. The odds were stacked against him, but Cochrane's relentless spirit and tactical genius would soon turn the tide. Using surprise and audacity, he captured the impregnable fortress of Valdivia with a daring nighttime land assault, shocking both friend and foe. This victory sent shockwaves through the Spanish ranks and inspired the independence movement. He then blockaded Peru's main port and in a legendary raid, captured the Spanish frigate Esmeralda right under enemy guns. His boldness became the stuff of legend, and his tactics were studied by allies and adversaries alike. These victories broke Spanish naval power and paved the way for Chilean and Peruvian independence, forever altering the balance of power in South America. Cochrane's reputation soared. He was called El Diablo by his foes, a testament to the fear and respect he commanded on both land and sea. After Peru, he helped Brazil win independence from Portugal, driving out the Portuguese fleet with bold tactics and relentless pursuit, earning admiration from a new nation. In just a few years, Cochrane helped liberate 3 nations, leaving an indelible mark on the continent's history and inspiring generations to come. His unconventional warfare changed the fate of a continent, proving that courage and ingenuity could overcome even the greatest empires. He became a hero across South America, celebrated in stories, songs, and monuments that still stand today. Cochrane's legend grew with every victory, his name forever linked to the cause of freedom and the birth of new nations. He was the ultimate freedom fighter, a visionary leader whose legacy endures in the spirit of independence across South America. Cochrane's adventures didn't end in South America. He aided Greece in its fight for independence, boosting morale and modernizing its navy. Back in Britain, public opinion shifted. His conviction was seen as a grave injustice. In 1832 he was pardoned, his knighthood restored, and he returned to the Royal Navy as an admiral. Cochrane continued to innovate, advising on new naval technologies. What set him apart? He refused to accept limits, always finding a way where others saw none. He revolutionized naval tactics and inspired generations. Cochrane was a hero, a rebel, and a liberator. His wild spirit shaped the modern world. The Seawolf story proves that true greatness comes from daring to be different. His legacy endures, untamed, unforgettable, and legendary.